Hello and welcome to Colin Bradley Artcast. I'm Stephen Bradley.
I'm Colin Bradley.
How you doing, Dad?
I'm doing well, Steve. How are you doing your end?
Yeah, not too bad, not too bad. Yeah, we're getting it's life is just crazy busy at the moment. Um, but yeah, we're doing well. Kids are doing well. Yeah, just working our way through. I can't believe we're already at the end of January. Moving into Feb. I mean, time really flies more so when you have children. It just
Oh,
flies so quickly.
it's time speeding up. And when you get older, it speeds up even more, I can warn you. But as long as you're living it, and it was lovely seeing you last weekend. We came up to see you and the children, and that was lovely. We had a backstage tour, didn't we, of the pantomime, and
That's right.
that was great fun. I really enjoyed that.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, me and Mims wrote the pantomime at the Bob Hope Theatre for the third year running. We're going to take a little break now because two young kids and trying to write a pantomime and it was quite busy, but it was really lovely and it was really nice to take you to the theatre and show you behind the scenes a little bit as well. And
Oh, I love all that.
mm, yeah, and the kids really enjoyed it as well. So yeah, it's been really nice. I'm seeing you again this weekend as well, aren't we, for another family
We are,
gathering?
yeah.
So
That'll be 3 weekends on the trot.
my goodness,
Yeah.
wow! Look at us being able to get out of the house. But yeah, otherwise all good, all good. On this episode, we've got a few things to talk about. We wanted to talk about the finished cat because we showed a little bit of it last time. We're going to show the finished picture on this episode. And we've got another interesting bit of information sent to us by one of our students, Christian, which we want to talk about. And then we also want to show off a new demonstration that you've been working on, Dad. Because
Hmm.
last time, I think we talked about it, the Labradoodle hair.
Yeah, we did.
Did a nice short demonstration of how to do that hair. And there's another demonstration. Should we start with that? Because I feel like you were ready to talk about that.
I think that's a good idea. Yeah, yeah.
So how about so you decided to do did this one this wasn't a request, this is something that you decided to show off, is this right?
Can I tell you what happened? It was set up before the Labradoodle actually, and I set it up on the board, and I hadn't done it. I hadn't started it. And then when we discussed the Labradoodle and thought, well, this is a good demonstration, we thought it would be nice to do demonstrations. And I wasn't altogether happy with the boxer position. It just didn't quite work out in my head as I would like it. And I thought, well, hang on, though, why don't I do a demonstration? Because the boxer face is really hard to do. You know, there's no question. You've got the nose again, which we've already talked about as being difficult. And then you've got the rest of it. And I thought, hey, this would be a good idea just to do the nose and the jowl, which we're going to see in a minute. Anyway, that worked out well. So that's a new demonstration which will be coming up, a free one, which will come out from on YouTube and all the other platforms that you. Here you go. There you go. And I think people will look at that and think, oh, that's nice. Oh, I wish you'd done the whole thing. I can hear it echoing. But you're not going to get the whole thing. You're just going to get that. But you see how nice that the representation was.
Mm.
I know people say, well, why didn't you put an eye in? That would have been nice. Well, it would have been, but it loses the point. The point was the nose and the mouth, and I love that little mouth there. It's
Yeah,
obviously,
this little bit here.
yeah, I just love doing that. I thought that was great, the way it's twisted slightly.
Yeah.
And but it's a lovely animal, there's no question about it. And I do like boxers. And funny enough, you want a little story I can tell you. When I
Sure.
was very young, I'm talking about living at home, and I was probably I don't know, mid-teens, I think. One of those attacked me.
No way.
Yeah, it actually got hold of me. It didn't bite me as such, but it got hold of my trousers. And that put me off dogs for a while, as you can imagine.
I bet it did. I bet it did. But you
But
like the dogs. You still
oh, I
like the
love them. I love the dogs. Though. Oh yes, we've got one just along the road from us in hairdressers. He's outside our hairdressers, and he's a beautiful animal. He's always friendly. He's just sits there out in the front, very, very well behaved. So no, I love the dog.
And are
But
these
just
the is this the list of pencils that you use? These are the Faber
that's all.
pencils that you
That's
use?
all the pencils I use. Yeah, yeah. So you're looking at the greys, obviously, there, and you're looking at the colour shapers. I included those in because I used all three of those, and in the production of it. I mean, obviously, when you see the demonstration, it's all going to be explained away. But you can see how people are looking and I think, oh, how on earth do you get that realism? We talked about this before, haven't we? How do you get that realism? And to be frank, I don't know how I do it. It just happens. I suppose attention to detail is one thing, but it's more than that. I've seen a lot of pictures where you get brilliant. Every hair's there, every tiny little detail is there, and it still doesn't look real. I come to the conclusion that you don't do that. You don't do every little detail. You do what you see, and the effect of the limited amount of pencils, because there's not a lot of pencils there, if you look at the colours involved. So I think this is the key to it. But I can't tell people my secret because I don't know what it is myself.
It's a mystery, but people are able to follow you and achieve, similar
Oh,
results.
yeah,
So it
they are,
must be able
yeah.
to replicate it. Excellent, good stuff. So before we move on to the finished picture of the cat, I just wanted to touch upon the article that Christian sent us. So Christian sent us in our last episode the information on the history of the pastel pencil manufacturers, and we shared that with you all last time. And in this one, he sent us a link to a French website. I'll give you the name of it: Skyzoon Art Academy. You can find them at skyzoon-art-academy.com, and it's an article about the length of the core inside. So I've got a little image from the article, and I'll pop the article in the show notes, so in the description. So if you want to see it, you can, and you can actually translate the article from from French to English. But this is shared from their website and that article. And I always thought it would be really interesting because what they've done is they've shown how far the pastel lead goes down the wooden core. And you can see from here the brands that the lead doesn't go all the way through to the end. And just how, I suppose, the value for money that you're getting with, I mean, looking at the Stabilo, I don't know about the Gioconda, the Cot Eye Nor brand. I'm not sure about the pricing of those, but we know the Stabilo are probably, other than Derwent, the most affordable pastel pencil out there.
Mm.
It's at half the price, I think, near enough half the price of like Caran Dash, um, and the other brands. But you can see if I specifically focus in on, because we know you love Faber Castell, just how far those leads go down. And I know that you've done that in the past. You've gone down
Not
literally
that
to
far.
the wire. I don't know how you get to that level. That's remarkable, and still use it. But isn't that interesting to see the comparison between all of the brands?
It is, very much so. And one of the things you can see on the first one, can you zoom in on that first one? Colin, Nor, whatever it is.
Sure,
That
sure,
one there.
sure.
Go right into it. Lovely. Now, one of the things I did find with previous pastel pencils I was using before I came to Faber was when you sharpen them, sometimes the lead falls out. Bits of it, not very much, sometimes as much as that. And that's quite annoying. But looking at that pencil there, that's the kind of thing that can happen. You can lose the lead and you end up with that empty casing. Then you've got to carry on. I mean, here, it doesn't carry on, but ordinarily you would carry on sharpening your pencil until you get the lead again. And that can be very frustrating. But Faber-Castell, when they introduced me to Faber-Castell and wanted me to demonstrate for them, one of the things they mentioned was they spot glue them, that core, all the way down. No, it's not glued all the way down, but it's spot glued all the way down. Right. So if you did happen to lose a bit of it, it's not a lot.
Right.
And that, but I'll be absolutely honest. How many times, how many pictures have I done in Faber-Castell? Hundreds and hundreds of them. And I've never really found any problems with that at all. I know sharpening is an issue with some people because unless you use a blade, like I use a safety razor blade, or a Stanley knife, it's quite hard you can't use a pencil sharpener successfully with them. So, sharpening is a problem. But I think the casing is quite strong, which is good news in a way. And so I think all the ways round, really, as far as I'm concerned anyway, the Faber-Castell is the best one. But I still like Stabilo, and I still like, as you know, Caran d'Ache and Gratacolor.
Absolutely. They are more delicate. I remember here when we used to sell them, the leads really are quite delicate in the Stabilo brands. I'd be a bit more confident if I accidentally dropped a Faber-Castell pencil, or if I dropped a Stabilo, I'd think, well, that lead's gone all the way through, But it's interesting. I mean, they all have their place. They all have their color ranges. Like they all are very, very useful brands to have. But it's just interesting comparison. So thank you, Christian, for sharing that with us, and thank you to the person that wrote that article. Like I say, I will pop the link in so that people can visit and read more about it, because it is a very interesting article. Excellent. Moving on to the final topic of today's show, which is your finished cat picture. We spoke about it last week, and I think it's time we shared the finished picture. People have been waiting long enough for it. So let's pop that up on screen now. Hopefully that will come up. And I mean, just that fur, that long fur, like that you do, it reminds me of the other cat that you did, Lola, the white, majestic mane that these cats have. The way you can represent that in pastel pencils is just so lovely to see.
It is, and it's a pleasure to do, I can assure you. And once you get the hang of it, and the other thing about this is we talked about the realism, didn't we, just a little while ago with the boxer. If you look at that cat and see how realistic it actually looks. I mean, I know you're looking at the eyes is wonderful in this. This is one of the nicest eyes I've done. But look at the way it's natural. And I think this is one of the things why I like the pastel pencil so much, because of the natural look. It's as near reality as you can get. I mean, I've seen some wonderful watercolour work and wonderful oil. I'm not quite so keen on acrylic. That tends to be a little harsh, in my opinion. Very competently done, but the pastel pencil has got that bit of magic. And if you look at that, I think you can see that it's there. But the lovely thing about this is not just the fur and the eyes, which that nice glassy look. So you've got those two very distinctive, different feature points. But look at the carpet there. Remember I did the carpet once before? I can't remember what it was now. I did it somewhere. But look at that carpet. and see how nice that carpet actually looks. So I think it's wonderful to actually see this as a finished picture, and I was very pleased with it. Background too is nice. 2/3 rule again, always keep that in mind when you're doing a picture.
Yeah, yeah, excellent. I think that the eyes are just they absolutely draw you in, and that you mentioned about this glassy effect. It seems
Mm.
like in these eyes you've got additional highlights, and I think that's what really makes the difference. You've got, I don't know if you normally do this. I'm pretty sure there is a highlight in the eye, but you've got
Well,
three in the eyes, and that seems to have made all the difference.
it depends on the lighting. I'm following the reference picture you're saying. If I see those in the reference picture, then I put them in the eye because the lighting is important. Whoever lit this cat paid attention to that. And so whether it was studio lighting, I just don't know. It was one of my Pixabay ones, I think I found. But you're quite right. Putting those lights in the eye do magnify the appeal, no question.
Mm. And a few different pencils. I'm just going to zoom in because I can see you've got Caran d'Ache in here, a really interesting Caran d'Ache colour, sort of a
Well, I haven't got
muted.
that. Yeah, I haven't got that colour anywhere else. You see, so I have to move off Faber, and I needed that light green, and it featured a lot in that cat. And then
The other one
that
is,
dark one,
yeah,
that one is a lovely colour. That is. You can see it's very good representation. If you look at the tip, you can see that is very different, and it's nice. This is why if you were really serious about pastel pencils, you really do need more than just the one make. You'll
mm,
get away with Faber on most things, but you'd have to compromise a little bit if you didn't have the range.
yeah.
But they're the only two I think that I've got in that.
You do benefit
Apart,
from having 80 colours in Caran d'Ache. There's so many, the fact that, it's 20 additional colours from Faber and Stabilo, that you get those in between tones or those kind of murky tones that are sort of in between other colours and just give you that little extra colour palette options.
absolutely.
But yeah, it looks absolutely fantastic. You know, another thing that I like just quickly, just to mention, is you've got one paw underneath and one paw out. It's just such
That,
a pose.
well, that's how it was. I don't make that up. That is. I sometimes exaggerate a little bit, and I think I may have done that on this one. But I wanted it to be, as you say, a relaxed pussy, and this is wonderful how animals can create that just by looking at, especially a cat. It's very expressive. You can almost see what they're thinking, can't you?
Mm.
Look at that. I think this is a wonderful thing about artwork. If you can capture that, or the photographer, rather, in the first place, can capture it. It's not easy to do.
Absolutely. Speaking of cats, I don't know if you can hear it on the mic or people at home can hear it, but there's a cat outside this door meowing to get in. So it must have heard that I'm talking about another cat. Said, "Let me in." Anyway, it looks absolutely stunning, and obviously, as we talk about with every picture, that we show on this show that you've done, it will be up on the website as a class, added to the long list of classes that we've still got to add. There are a lot still to come, but we'll be sure to put up that boxer demonstration. The Labradoodle demonstration is up on YouTube, so you can watch that and get those tips. But yeah, if anyone has any questions or anything like that, then please get in touch with us. Send us an email, comment on this episode, however you want to get in touch. If you have anything you want us to discuss or any questions, please let us know. Do you have another picture lined up, Dad?
I do, believe it or not, another cat.
Oh, do you?
Yep, another cat. Then it would be a dog. But I love this. I'm not going to spoil it by showing you the photographic reference because I'm only just started on it really. But it's going to be another cracking picture. I hope. Cross fingers.
Good, good. Excellent stuff. All right, then. Well, we'll leave it there for this week. Thank you, everyone, for watching and for listening. I'm Stephen Bradley.
And I'm Colin Bradley.
Enjoy your
Enjoy
week.
your week.
Can you hear this cat?
I can't.